everyone here, please.
Well, I think that one thing that has become very important in developing corporate governance structures in a family-controlled business such as David and Heather Hagen's was really the process and the ability to get a family group to understand the benefits of an advisory board. Well, that's challenging in itself. But really what comes out in that whole process over many years is the points that Sallyanne quite helpfully spoke about, is the values of the family group are what bind the family and what really is the intangible that sits behind this business, and that I think the research out of Bond University has recently found that family-controlled businesses perform at something like 30% better returns than other businesses. And it was discovered in talking more with David and Heather that a lot of those family values were revolved around their own charitable activities in giving to a number of organisations. And going through this process, we identified that what might be an appropriate way to go is to actually bring the charitable activities back in to their own controlled entity, which is called a private ancillary fund, that the next generation becomes involved in, and that is involved in the governance of that fund, establishing an investment strategy and identifying where they want to give, and it actually draws the values and actually transitions the values of the first generation, David and Heather, to the second generation, and also at the same time really draws out some differences in values. And I think that's something that David and Heather genuinely encourage, and that is to identify the differences without really impacting greatly on any changes in the core values. And I see that, and David's being encouraged by this, as a way of building a governance structure and transitioning and succession planning to the next generation. Now, David, I don't know whether that gives you any food for thought or whether you've got some closing comments on that.
Well, I'm happy to report that we've had several happy family councils convened by David, and that's a little different to the way I did it in the past, because previously it was over the dinner table when everyone else had their mouths full and couldn't say too much to object to what I was doing. But no, that process is working well, and it's very interesting to see the way that with an external advisor helping you in those meetings, he can bring out thoughts from other family members that maybe you mightn't have drawn out yourself if you're just doing it in your normal style. So my message is we can't always pull ourselves up by our own bootlaces. Sometimes we need a bit